Hey, this is Andy with Rocket City Pinball. This video is to show you my new HexSleeve products, which are these colored sleeves designed to fit over the top of these hexagonal spacers that are used in modern games to hold up ramps and lights and plastics. I've always felt that posts and other supporting hardware in the games would look much nicer if they matched the artwork. So, for example, let me show you over here. Here's my Rush game, and you can see I use these antique brass colored hex sleeves here to cover up the silver spacers. And over here on my Game of Thrones, same thing here, these silver hex spacers here holding up the ramp and this light. I replaced it with, or I covered them with brown sleeves so they really blend nicely into the artwork. You don't even notice them anymore. There's even a fancy one here in the back holding up that ramp where I made it brown at the bottom and then I changed the filament to a translucent blue so it blends in with the artwork in that area really nicely. It's much more subtle. So these hex spacers are available in a ridiculous number of different lengths, and rather than you having to go into your game and figure out the exact measurement of each one that you would need, I'm going to make these available in maybe 3 or 4 different lengths, 3 or 4 different standard lengths, and so you just order the one that is longer than your hex spacer that you have in the game. And then all you have to do is install it and trim it, which is a very easy process. I'll show you how to do that here real quick. One other thing to note is most of the hex spacers in games typically have a screw that holds it on from the bottom, and then there's usually a washer underneath the spacer. So I've designed the sleeves to have a little foot base on the bottom here, so that once you slide it on, it covers up the washer and you really don't see the washer without looking at it at a really extreme angle. And that saves you from having to take apart more than you really need to in the game, because sometimes if that's usually on top of a plastic, so then you'd have to go remove that whole plastic piece to get the screw out and get the washer out. So I put the foot on there just to cover that up to save you a lot of extra work. Now, when you go to install it, so you're going to order the one that's slightly longer than your sleeve that's in place. So you slide it on, and due to the nature of the 3D printing, you may find one corner is slightly rougher than the others. It'll have like a little seam, so you see the slightly rougher edge there than it has on the other edges. So all you do is just orient that away from your field of view. But you slide it on just like that, and then you're going to get a flashlight. You could use the light on your cell phone. I would show you with that, but I'm using my cell phone right now to record this video. So I have this other flashlight, and you'll notice as I slide the light up to the top, I can very easily see where the spacer inside ends, and then it's just hollow sleeve. So then what you're going to do is you get a pair of side cutters. Could be this type that you would use for zip ties and wires, or it could be this type, which is the more standard type that everybody seems to have. So you're going to shine your light, you find the top of the spacer. Oh, thank you. Trusty assistant holding that for me. And you're going to come in with your cutters and line your cutters up with the top of where the spacer ends, and you just simply snip, and there you go. So now you can see it's cut off right at that height, and then you can put your plastic or your light or your ramp, whatever was back on there. So let me show you one more time on these tall ones over here. So we bring our light in, we see where it ends right there. Take your side cutters, come into that height, and I printed these with a slightly larger layer thickness to allow them to cut a little more easily. Oop. There you go. Oh, looks like that one's a little high, so we can just trim it a little further. And we're good to go. There. So it's as simple as that. So as you can see, with the hex spacers on, these silver pieces look much nicer with some colors. So, look at the artwork in your game and look at your hex spacers and pick the right color. I have more colors than I can count in different filaments. I'll have a picture in my listings to show some of the different colors I have. You can see here's just some samples. So look me up on rocketcitypinball.com and we'll get you the right spacers for the right sleeves for your spacers and make your game look nicer. Thanks for watching.